Here we are in the bedrooms ready for the renovation, and to prepare for the oak floors underneath this linoleum floor to be refinished, we first have to tear up this old linoleum. And before we can do that, we have to get the staples up. Now the carpet padding and the carpet have been removed, and you can see that there's a seam. This little like dotted line of peppered foam bits is where the staples that were used to tack down the carpet padding have still remained. And these have to be taken out by hand. There's no real quick way, but it's not a difficult process. So first let's get to the tools. You're going to go over to the tool bucket, and I recommend the first thing you do is get some nippers, okay? That's these orange handled things, and we're going to show you how to use these. The second thing you want to do is grab a pair of channel locks. And so there's two pairs, doesn't matter which. The third thing you'll want to use, and this is probably what you'll use most, is this little screwdriver looking thing, but it's got what I call a snake tongue or a fork at the end, and you're going to use that. I've used needle nose pliers, and of course if you need to, you can grab a pair of regular pliers. So all of these tools would represent what you would need. This is more than what you would need. Really, you'll use this and probably the channel locks and the needle nose the most. But just know that whatever is comfortable for you is suitable. So I'm just going to, and then you're going to need a bowl because you're going to want something to put the scrap bits in. And I would recommend that, see if I've got some in here. Looks like they'll be in here. You're going to want to wear gloves. And the reason why is because one of the steps that you'll do is kind of glide your hand over to make sure that you've got all the staples lightly, and you want gloves to do that because you don't want your hand to get snagged. And so I'm holding my phone with one hand, so this will be a little bit different, but we're going to go over here. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to switch to my other hand, and really simply, you're going to find a little bit. There it is. And then you're just going to kind of get in there and find the staple. Now I've noticed that most of these staples will pop up on one end, just like that one did. See that? We'll get the little foam out of the way. If you notice, that staple there popped up on the one end. It usually is the case that one end will pop up. There you go. See that? And so that's where you take the channel locks and you grab it. And if you notice, if you grab it on the one end and you've got the end of the channel lock on the floor, you just roll it backwards, and look how nice and easy. Just that rolling action. And there you go. Your staple done. And of course you can just throw the little foam bits in your bowl and empty that as it gets full. So really, it's not a difficult process, but be mindful there are staples where there is no foam. And so like I see one right there, there's one right there. Sometimes you can get a little pair of needle nose pliers underneath, and you can go almost to the left or the right and rock back and forth. It will come out on its own. Most of the time I used a pair of needle nose pliers. This is the tool that I used the most before I got this, but as you can see, the channel lock works well. This is actually a nipper. It's made to cut off a nail head or something if you can't get it out. So we don't want to come down here and cut these off, but you could grab it, and again, using that rocking motion, try to see if you can grab that staple. And what I did is just grab the foam, because you can see the staple stayed. See that? You can see how close they are. There's not a lot of gap. So this tool may not be very effective for you. Again, I'm going to go back to my needle nose. Get back in focus there. I'm going to get my needle nose. What I like about the needle nose is the little point can slide underneath that staple. And if you can't get it from one angle, get it from the other. Get it underneath there, push it in, and twist. And look at that. See how it came up? Then I can grab it and I can pull it out. If If you can't pull it out, and of course I'm one-handed again, then you can just grab it with your channel locks and rock and slide that out. There you go. Now the tack strip, and this is why I came over here, you're not going to be able to get the tack strip out without these tools. So you're going to go to the tool bucket, you're going to grab a flat bar and a hammer. And it's going to be a little bit difficult one-handed, but you're going to want to notice where the nails are. You can see that's a nail head. So these are very sharp, so be very careful when pulling these out. You don't want to touch this, it'll poke you. But you see a nail head there, you see a nail head there, a nail head there. They're about every 6 inches. So what you want to do is you want to find a nail head. It doesn't matter which one. Now, I'm just using my arm strength to shove this under, but watch. If you shove that under, you can see what happens. These nails aren't very deep, and so this tack strip will come right up. Now, especially I'm over here near the register, so it's brittle, it's breaking. I want to be careful. I usually have gloves. I never do construction without gloves, so just make sure you wear gloves. And then you just pull this up like that, and then you throw it in the dumpster. So this room has to be de-stapled and tack strip removed in order to move forward with pulling up the linoleum. If you have any questions, talk to me and have fun.